important on this part. It's super common, if not already. Looks like the shop that did the original wrap on this did a good job because this thing isn't all loose. A lot of times people, it's like they pry on it and they rip the little clip on the backside. And it's super easy to pop it off, so there's no reason to mess it up. But I see it all the time. Almost every GTR I see, these things, if they're not original, have been just manhandled. So just gonna stick a little screwdriver in there, and that was it. It's just this damn clip. People don't want to push down on that. They'll just like pry or something. As soon as you pry like that, it's done. So yeah, helps to do things right. Last bolt that's in right there, you got to really shove your arm like all the way up about at this depth and then get like a really awkward twist on a tool. So I use a tiny little right angle screwdriver with an adapter and a little extension with a 10. It's just kind of a makeshift easy way to get in there because it's not bulky, but it's still difficult. And this part has a cooler right here, which means it's hot as shit. And it can burn you nice and easy. There it is. So, that's it. This is a way over the top 2015 Nissan GTR headlight, and it's got way too many moving bells and whistles inside, so it's kind of hard to keep track of everything, but so far so good. I'll show you over here. This is one of the lights that's all hooked up already, so it does fancy stuff. So I gotta get this other side put together. Got angel eyes, color changing lightning bolts, sequential bolts. It's got a lot of stuff in there. It's pretty wild. Basically, these wires that I'm fishing through are the ones that control all the bells and whistles that I was talking about. So this is our new big ass professional oven, and what it's doing is there's a sealant that goes all along the perimeter of the light. We use a special machine to pump extra sealant in there, and then once the sealant's all like extra added in there, we stick it in the oven at a low enough temperature that it can heat up the sealant and make it pliable, but not damage the plastic or on the light or anything. So basically, once it's all heated up in there, we push it together, we clamp it, we screw it tight with all the original hardware that it needs, and then it's got a better than stock seal after that. It's probably one of the biggest questions we get is it going to be okay to modify the lights, or are they going to leak after? And the problem is a lot of people will take a light apart, they'll pry it with a bunch of tools, leave a bunch of big gaps in the sealant, and then they just stick it back together and hope it doesn't leak, but now there's all these air gaps in that seal. So what we do is we open the lights by hand, so we never use tools that can damage the lights to begin with, and then we use that machine to pump in the extra sealant, this big monster to cook it, and push it all back together and make it better than new. So that's the deal. Typically at about 220 to 240 for about 5 minutes, then I open it up, check, make sure that nothing's shifted inside of there. Sometimes lights can kind of shift once they get warm, and if that happens and you have plastic sitting on hot metal, it can damage it, it can bubble up the plastic, melt it, deform it. So it's always good to do a quick check about halfway through, and then after that I usually let it cook about 2 more minutes after, just to make sure that it's totally good to go, but it's not undercooked, but it's not like hot and melty or anything like that. So it's kind of you gotta feel your way through it and see what works best for you.
This is our custom harness to make everything function 100%. So this setup has, it's a full plug and play drop in, all plug and play, and then a battery compartment. So I build these harnesses this way so that Any customer, if they want us to ship the lights, they can do an easy install of these really crazy wild custom headlights that we build for them. 4 connections on each headlight on top of the factory stuff they can unplug. So they can do their job a little easier.
I'm using the ultrasonic cutter to trim a little back cap on this, since we want a nice tight fit around all the connectors that are coming out of it.
What?
So it does strobe. Can I do that? What?
Yeah.
And then turn off the angel eyes. Oh, wee. And it's more better. And then I could turn that. Wow. So this is that guy's doing. Jack watched videos of lightning bolts on YouTube to design that animation. So he was like, oh, so they start from the ground and go up? Because that's the way that they really do it? He's like, this looks way cooler, so we did it that way. Top down. Top down, side to side. Goes like this. This is the animation. Do that? Do that?
Can you do that and face the camera and like? Can you do it with your pecs?
No. These things have a lot of functions on them. They have the switchback angel eyes, and then they have sequential lightning bolts. So the sequential lightning bolts basically just mean that they're doing all kinds of animations. They do color changing, so we can actually shut off the lightning bolt and then power them up with Bluetooth. So you can use a phone, an iPad, you can even use your watch and turn on color changing. So this is kind of the newest, latest, greatest function. And so it's got the angel eyes that can be powered on with it, and they can change colors. They can be set to do strobing animations. And then they can also do the amber, like the lightning bolt show mode with the color change. So there's, I don't know, there's like 110 combinations, 150. There's 8 million combinations that you can do. There's more things that you can do on this than I could probably list on a nice little page document. You need like a whole control manual to tell you how to do all the functions. So just kind of playing with it, changing it to the way you want it to look. And then the big change on the inside is that everything's all matte black, so it completely matches the wrap on the car. And there's some two-tone stuff going on with chrome and just a lot of crazy stuff. So here's the running light, and you hit the turn signal, it'll do that.